And this is a small session where I will discuss about the production of ethanol and tetracycline, and one of the case studies related to ethanol production. So ethanol, some description about the ethanol. It is one of the best solvent considered in industrial biotechnology. Several products and several related products are being made through ethanol, and ethanol is considered as also as one of the good energy source. So ethanol is an energy source, is highly inflammable, and also it is considered as one of the best disinfectant. So it has contains so many qualities. The physical properties, if I say, then the boiling point is lower than water. It is on an average 78 to 78.5 degrees centigrade. Depends upon the impurities present in ethanol. It is colorless and it is highly volatile. About the production of ethanol, virtually any substance which contains carbohydrate or sugar, they can be converted into ethanol and CO2 as a byproduct. So this is a general mechanism for the production of ethanol from glucose, because either we start from carbohydrate or with sugar, the glucose will come, and through that sequence we have to come for the production of ethanol. As an intermediate products, pyruvate and acetaldehyde is being formed, and also there is a production of energy because it's an exothermic reaction and used to bind the inorganic phosphate to ADP and ultimately convert DH. Actually, if you see the intermediate this exercise of ATP, NAD, NAD, these actually maintain the electronic balance between the whole reaction, and the ultimate product is one molecule glucose to 2 molecule of ethanol. So I'm now coming to the history of ethanol production. It is around 7 to 10,000 before Christ when this reports of ethanol is from the China and some of the Middle East countries. And in the early days, the Greeks and Arabs know the distillation. So the pure ethanol comes into the picture. As in the first slide, I have quoted that virtually any product which contains carbohydrate with it can be converted into ethanol. In in all, I mean, different countries, because if we say about the sugar cane is not universally produced. It is produced in some of the countries, and some of the countries use beetroot to produce sugar. So there are so many start products like apple, grape, I mean, fruits are there, barley, rice, sorghum. There are different start product through which ethanol is being produced. And the very famous beverage Cedar is produced from apple, and one more toddy is there, and kafar is also produced. These are very famous beverages which is very much liked throughout the world. There are because it falls into microbiological fermentation and the technology part. So microbes are involved. There are several yeast, that is fungus, that is eukaryotic organism. Some of the bacteria involved for the ethanol production. The list is there. These are the yeast which is used much to produce ethanol, and Saccharomyces cerevisiae is one of them. I just want to share something. These are the yeast which are these are the fungus which are actually naturally produced, naturally occurring fungus. What companies do, they take a variety of these fungus and they try that, yes, which particular strain or mutated strain is helpful in producing maximum amount of output. And this is, they do not publish it, they do not put in the bottle, in their container, because this is under their trade secret. So so these are the general substrate and media for ethanol production. If you could see in your screen, there are it is divided into 3 generations: the first generation, second generation, and third generation. You see the picture carefully, that which substrate, which initial product is being used as first generation, second generation, and third generation. First generation biofuels, the first generation, ethanol. It refers to fuel, the ethanol, the green alcohol that have been derived from sources. Starch is there, animal feed, vegetable oils, and other uh, pulps and fruits and vegetables. And the second generation ethanols are those which are actually produced from cellulose, hemicellulose, or lignin. And the third generation, which is considered as advanced, and it is also very much technical to produce this kind of ethanol. They are produced from algae, sewage, sludge, and MSP, that is MSW, sorry, municipal solid wastes. So this is a kind of different talk about second and third generation. First generation we still use, and most of the beverages are produced from this first generation ethanol. And now the third generation is being used by aviation industry. Recently, you have heard about the Jet Airways, which use the ethanol which is produced from third generation. So methods of ethanol production, it is not because the underlying and fermentation into a one-step process. And there is a good role of screening there, which undertake the identify naturally occurring yeast that produce ethanol without the addition of amylase. Because if we adding amylase, it not only increases the overall cost, but also sometimes interfere the production. So there are several strains here, 3 strains capable of producing a significant amount of ethanol. Some strain, that is JCM 18690, was a strain showing the highest ethanol ability. This strain actually utilizes starch directly, and the ethanol concentration was very high. It is around 10 gram per liter. So these are the strains. I told you that companies develop a strain based on mutation ability of mutating ability of ultraviolet and several gases. So they use it from time to time. You can understand much when you yourself enter into industrial biotech. So this is ethanol production by the help of enzyme. This is a diagrammatic representation of ethanol production. All the general bioprocess technology words are there: distillation, fermentation, enzyme hydrolysis. So this is how a general method of ethanol production is being used. This is production of ethanol from wheat. Not only from wheat, the waste products, and if somebody is from care of the problem of Paryali, and that is the waste product of agriculture. This is a problem, but if this problem can be converted into industrial production, that will benefit to the whole country. So this peat is first mixed and cut into small pieces, and it is moist and kept for some time. And the liquefaction, then fermentation, and there is use of yeast there, because you need a bacteria, a live cell to produce enzyme there, and the help of the enzymatic action, the ultimately ethanol is being produced. See, ethanol production is not a complicated process. You need a live cell in the name of yeast or bacteria. You need a fermenter. You need a sterilized area. That's it. You can produce ethanol uh, in a quantity which you want, which is a need. And in this, this is production of ethanol from sugarcane. Sugarcane production of ethanol is very much in use in our country, and even the production is high in our country, it does not meet the requirement. In the recent problem of COVID, there was a much use of ethanol and isopropanol, but sadly, the production unit in our country were not sufficient to meet the demand. So this is the need of the hour to increase the production of this alcohol. And you know, the consumption of ethanol is one of the parameter for the differentiation of a developed and a developing country. Most of the developed country consume ethanol at its fullest. This is sugarcane. It processed through it is washed, milling, filtration. You can say that in every step there is some extra words. I am telling you words. When you wash, you have to take the water off. When you mill it, there is bagasse. Bagasse means if you extract all the juices from this sugar cane, the left product is called bagasse. And after then filtration, even after the filtration, in the cane, you will get some water kind of thing mixed with some products. It is left out products. So this is called, so material is fermented. Then through distillation we get hydrated alcohol. And if we do not go for fermentation, this filter can be used for the production of sugar. So this is a dual purpose kind of thing. Either we go for ethanol production or we can go for sugar production. So I have carefully chosen this case study. This is a case study in Sopur district. There was a Bhaji lake, and we all know that the water, the Maharashtra, there is not much water. There are not much rivers, and rainwater is not, and they are not sufficient to meet their demand. So lakes are very there. So in one of the lake, that is
Sir, you are there? Students, you can put your cams on. I think there is some issue from his side again. सो रहे हो आप लोग? कुछ बच्चे तो सो ही रहे होंगे, मुझे पता है. वी आर फेसिंग, एक तो आधा टाइम तो वी वर फेसिंग दिस इशू, वेटिंग रूम वाला. ठीक है, और फिर अभी इंटरनेट का इशू है. कुछ बच्चे कर रहे हैं पढ़ाई या फिर सो रहे हैं? सर शेयर करेंगे फिर से? ऑन कर लो भाई, एक आध फोटो ले लो मैं आप लोगों की.
today I'm facing a lot of,
हाँ सर, देखा मैंने. यस,
I don't know,
कोई बात नहीं, वो इंटरनेट का
in
कभी कभी इशू हो
in
जाता
last
है.
2.5
यू आर लॉगिंग इन फ्रॉम लैपटॉप? आप लैपटॉप से लॉगिन कर
yes,
रहे हो?
because it is
नहीं, दैट
yeah,
लैपटॉप में सर वही है, थोड़ा सा उसका करिएगा थोड़ा. बस आई जस्ट टेक अ पिक. आलो को अपना हाथ नीचे करो. ओके, आई हैव
so
टेकन अ पिक. यस सर,
yeah,
यू स्टार्ट.
yeah. So this Lake Shivaji, these are very common names in Maharashtra. So this Lake Sambhaji is located on the Solapur-Bijapur highway. Fine, it's a semi-natural lake. I mean, it is like they get some water from natural sources and others through municipal. And this lake, after reading this and after contacting this student, actually this work has been done by some student. That's why this was the primary reason I have chosen this case study. They actually tested, they actually checked that in a lake where we pour a lot of waste every day. So this waste contains your detergent, your several animal wastes, everything, urine. So actually these act as a catalyst to grow these weeds. And in every water source, if weeds are there, it is considered as a great problem. But can we change this problem into our use? So they have checked it in a smaller level. What they did, they have initially they have checked the several parameters such as pH, um, dissolved oxygen, COD, POD, everything they have checked. But I was not much concerned about this, the general chemical or biochemical parameters they have checked. I was interested in, in this total reducing sugar and alcohol. They have checked both. And as I said in the initial of the class, any substance which contains sugar or carbohydrate can be used for the production of ethanol. Fine. So they take out the weeds from the lake, they crush it, and they mix it with the help of mixer. I'm slightly elaborating this. They take out the weeds, wash it, dry it, and again they go for oven drying. Oven, yesterday in the class I have quoted hot air oven. They have used the same and use the mixer to make small particles out of these big weeds. And they have used this leading solution, de-leading solution, HCl, phenolphthalein indicator, sodium hydroxide, failing A and failing B. Actually, this leading solution and de-leading solution, they contains acid, sulfur containing acids. These are used to moist them and to make all the surface, the extra thing, um, the bark, the hard lignin containing things. They just want to take out all the things. Yes. So they take just 12.5 gram raw material. That is very small amount, and 25 ml of this leading solution and a small amount of water, and they they mix it, and they let them stand for some time, maybe some hours. And in that this conical flask, they add filling to ascertain that whether sugar is producing there or not. And they were lucky; they got some sugar. The percentage of sugar was is 5.128. But in one research article, I have seen that they got up to 12 to 13% of sugar. I don't know what was the start material. It was a paper from Europe, and that. But science in every country, science runs from the problem which arises there. We can't create a solution to the problem which is in Europe. We have to look into our problems. So weed is a problem. Water source is a problem. I mean, a good water source is rare now. So we can take out the weed, sugar, down, down processing, some alcohol can be produced. Fine. I know this is very small. I 1 to 8. They have these two students got this. It is less. But if we see the bigger scenario means weed. Weed in any water source, you can get hundreds of kgs of weeds. So with the help of these hundreds of kgs or maybe 1,000 kg weed, we can produce some liter of ethanol. So we can that water source can be get rid of this nasty weed, and also we get some industrially important substance. Fine. They also check the alcohol presence in that water and this weed both. So they got very small amount of alcohol they have quoted here. They take 1.5 kg of water wheat sample, and it contains 2% to 2.4% of alcohol. I mean, it's direct alcohol. So that's nice. So that's the conclusion that they have written some conclusion, but I have already put it. This can be converted into a boon. If you people are here, because most of them have switched off their video, they can, if they can on their video, I can show you ethanol which we imported, which we used to import from China.
Yes, we can see.
So so this is ethanol we generally use in almost all the labs in our country, and you are very surprised to know that it is from Chengdu city, China. It is from Chengdu city, China. Fine. So this, which is used all over the country, and this bottle we are taking from China, it's really shame for us. This I'm also using in my lab. I have taken it from my lab itself. So now this case study is over, and this is very simple. I will recital to you also. And I request you, because this is done by very simple BTech students only. In your college, university, whether any waste product, if it can produce alcohol, you can publish a small paper also. Now again, I am sharing. Now I'm अब आपने इथेनॉल लिया है तो ठीक है. टेट्रासाइक्लिन आप सभी जानते होंगे, इट्स अ ब्रॉड स्पेक्ट्रम एंटीबायोटिक and it is produced from Streptomyces class of bacteria. And this tetracycline was first discovered during Second World War, because a lot of soldiers were wounded and in their life were in danger. So during first around after the First World War, penicillin was discovered. Fine. And during the Second World War, this tetracycline was discovered, and it is broad spectrum antibiotic and is very much in use. So this classification of tetracycline is slightly different from other antibiotics. It is based on its half-life, which ranges from 6 hours to 16 hours. So these are three classes of tetracycline, and the chlortetracycline, these are just trade names. So this is the structure of tetracycline. You could see the structure of tetracycline, and they are actually yellow in color, and it's deuterated structure, and it is an amphoteric compound. It forms salt with both acids and bases. So how it works? In yesterday class, I have told you, if you want to disinfect, I mean, you just want to kill a bacteria, there are broadly 2-3 methods. You halt, you check, you stop the production of important proteins, and you start or either you stop its replication. Fine. So here tetracycline inhibits the bacterial protein synthesis. Once the important protein synthesis is being blocked, the growth of bacteria, the replication of bacteria itself also gets stopped, and that human or sorry, that organism is free from that particular set of bacteria. So this is a very general, very tetracycline. In any fermentation, you just remember there are only 3 steps. In the first step, you grow all the initial products, and one small experiment is being set up. This small experiment is just to maintain actively growing microbe there. Once it reaches the actively growing stage, this whole set is transferred to a production phase, that is in a bigger vessel, in a bigger fermenter. So here you could see that inoculum that is posed on agar plate or in a sterile soil, and the shape flask. The first step you can maintain or you can run in a smaller lab, but for the production you need sophisticated production house, I mean that industry, which need sterilization and other requirements to produce in a bigger amount, because ultimate goal is commercialization. So the medium I have mentioned here, and these are all compositions which are being required for the production of tetracycline, or ultimately this tetracycline is being produced. These uses of tetracycline, these are antibacterial, and sometimes it is proven that it is also anti-cancer. UTI, anthrax, fever, everywhere it is being used because it's a broad spectrum tetracycline. One more thing I want to share you people that this antibiotic can cross placenta. This is a few class of antibiotic which can cross placenta. So generally pregnant women are not advised to take this tetracycline. Got it? And this is kept at room temperature. At very high temperature, it loses its capability for antibacterial properties, and if moisture is there, it loses its property. So the lecture today was just of half an hour for me. So I am putting my papers here. So if I can take 1-2 questions if you have. Otherwise,